Dealer's choice, Tom Fornelli.
Yo.
Do you want to go to avoided upset or take it to Oklahoma?
Let's take it to Oklahoma. I mean, we're already kind of on the subject there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sooners. First win against a top 5 team with this few yards of total offense since 2000.
It's kind of an insult stat.
Or a compliment stat.
That feels more like an insult stat to me.
To who?
to Oklahoma. I mean, it's like you won, but
this is the way they have to win.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Like we've talked about it several weeks in a row, right? Like they probably were not going to be able to score with Tennessee. They're almost doubled up in yardage, 406 to 212, and yet, like if you look at it, you get the 3 turnovers, right? Or 4?
Yeah.
3.
It's 3 turnovers and
the interception
recovered
and
one
the 2
of the
fumbles, including the punt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you use, like, to get real nerdy with it, like a 45-yard, basically like hidden yardage adjustment, tack on 135 to your 212, you're still outgained by like 50 something, right? So yeah, like this is exactly like the perfect way that it had to go. Their kicker's an absolute stud, by the way.
Yes.
Like to line up and be like, hey, here's 55, no sweat. Like that's a huge weapon for them when you're playing games that are, like 23 is absolutely, the number, right? What did we say the number was? We feel really comfortable if you were DeBoer this week.
We said
23.
We were between 24 and 27. That was what we were saying what you would take. Chip had 26-22, if you remember.
Almost got that in USC, Iowa.
Yeah.
We sniffed it. We sniffed it, certainly. But yeah, I think with Tom, we were on with Tommy Tran at halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is exactly all of the ingredients you need for the recipe for the upset.
Mm-hmm.
You were getting it. You were taking advantage. If you play on Oklahoma's terms, they're going to win. And it's the tailgate was talking about the boogeyman. Yeah, maybe. But I think this is a lot more about maybe, even as Damian said, some flaws that might have been getting masked a little bit and maybe coming home here against a better defense and a team that had enough athletes to hit enough plays to really make you pay, whether it's with the returns, the explosive play, the one explosive play that you need offensively at that perfect time. Oklahoma does have the talent to be able to go and do that.
And they weren't, yeah, in theory, like their long play on the night was 22 yards.
Yeah, they didn't really hit any explosives.
But I thought Mateer did a good job of, like, we know he misses a lot of stuff within structure, and I'm sure that, like, the coaching staff was like, throw the ball, please. Like, there's the one sack you can see Venables just like go purple. She's like, are you serious? Like you just took the sack with two guys wide open, like right there. But I thought a couple times he did a nice job of getting out of pressure and like making some big time throws. It's hard to say, like, yeah, 138 yards, the guy balled. He didn't, but I guess he did enough and didn't turn it over, which is, good-ish with that defense.
Honestly, to me, Alabama looked like Alabama. The only difference was Ty Simpson turned the ball over.
Yeah. And dropping the punt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's huge.
We've said it all year. Like, this is a team that can't run the ball, and Ty Simpson's doing the put the team on his back stuff, and he's carrying that offense, and the defense has been good. And if you look at the performance today, they still hit a bunch of chunk plays through the air. He hit a lot of those deep ends and all that kind of stuff that he is typically hitting. It's just he had the one red zone interception. He should have had a second red zone interception and got absolutely bailed out by the pass interference. I just think Ty Simpson played poorly. And the way Alabama is constructed this year and what they're able to do, they can't afford Ty Simpson playing poorly. And when it happens, the 21 points that they scored, it's not exactly out of character with how much they're scoring in every other SEC game. So, yeah, I just think that Alabama played well overall, but made far too many mistakes. And then Crimson and Cream Iowa did what Crimson and Cream Iowa does and takes advantage of your mistakes.
Yeah, like if you're picking this game again after watching it, you're laying the 6 points with Bama.
Yeah.
They almost doubled them up in yardage. Like turnovers, you could tell me like you can do certain things defensively that potentially increase your odds of getting turnovers, but like we know turnovers also have a huge random component, right? Otherwise, the best teams would always lead in turnover margin, and they don't, right? Like, Bama's a better team than Oklahoma. Oklahoma was better on the scoreboard today, mostly because they played extremely hard, the turnovers. I think that the pressures, I know they had 11 pressures in the first half. Maybe that contributed some to Simpson being uncomfortable, but still, like, the goal is to move the ball and put it in the end zone. Like, Bama moved it way better than Oklahoma did. Like, not really close. And you can even say, like, yeah, okay, with the pick six, that takes away a drive. So give OU like 15 yards for missing drive.
Well, no, what was that? Well, I mean, it might not have amounted to anything, low scoring game as it was, but Oklahoma had the one really long Satania return.
Yeah.
Like a 40, like a field flipping 40 plus
42-yard return.
Yeah.
Oklahoma killed them on special teams. They had the long punt return to give themselves a short field. They made the 3 field goals, including one over 50, and they blocked Alabama's field goal. And that came up kind of big in a 2-point game.
I mean, their long drive on the day was 41 yards. Like, Bama's probably pissed about this, obviously, and Oklahoma's thrilled because now Oklahoma's got a really good shot to make the playoff. And, but yet, like, with this offense, like, the LSU game is losable, right? It is. Like you go up, you put up 212 yards against LSU, you could lose that ball game. Not saying you will, but, like, that's such a low margin for error, guys.
I have trouble this Saturday night being critical about your big picture. Can you win a game in the playoff when you just won in Tuscaloosa? Like, that is an impact of saying the college football playoff makes football worse. If you're trying to, like, not give flowers to Oklahoma for going into Tuscaloosa and winning like they did in a place where they had only had one loss dating back to the start of 2022.
And it played their game.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty big.
So did they beat Missouri and LSU because they're both at home?
Also, like, I will say 14 targets for 71 for Bernard is bad. Like, if you're Oklahoma, if you want to, like, force feed a guy 5 yards a target, that's inefficient football right there, passing the ball. Like, that's not the same thing as 5 yards a carry from a back. Like, I'm sure Oklahoma's thrilled with that.
Yeah, I mean, it might speak to trust.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean, it's all all we hear is praise for Jeremy Bernard. And at some point, that also might mean, well, is he the shining star or is he the only one who's meeting the expectations?
Yeah.
That's a little reckless for minute 22. All the way through. All right, Dave, what do we make of the Tide? What do we make of Kalen DeBoer's first home loss in Bryant Denny Stadium?
I'm not trying to know he was getting in for that.
I didn't know. So listen, I won't hold back. This isn't by any stretch of the imagination the end of the world. Alabama very much controls their own destiny. But when you look at this game, there were a lot of things that we've seen previously in the season that when we looked at the game tonight, we were like, it makes sense. I'll give you guys an example. When Alabama played Florida State at the beginning of the season, it was a simple play inside the red zone. They ran a slant to Ryan Williams. Off coverage, they didn't connect. Whatever it was, the timing was off. He didn't catch it. Whatever it was, they did not connect. So I sat here and I looked and I thought, and I talked to Danny and a bunch of people on the show, and I said, if you can't complete a 3-yard slant, your 2 best players on offense, 2 best players on your team, you can't complete a 3-step slant. A 3-step slant. How do you expect in the biggest moment of the season to create on a play where you got to have it, where you got to create on a 4th down, on an out route? You got to hit it. They couldn't. And I go back to that first game where they couldn't complete a slant route. Bill Belichick used to say all the time, if our best players cannot complete simple plays, base game plan plays, how can we expect that to work in the heat of the moment when the moment matters the most? That's it. Now, all that to be said, it's not the end of the world for Alabama. It's not, but at some point you have to start to clean some of these things up because you can't just keep getting away with it game after game after game.
Also, isn't there some of the, like, bad time to have a bad game for Ty Simpson? Uncharacteristic from the way the rest of the season went. Oklahoma's good enough that they're going to make you damn pay. You make those mistakes. Yeah, every single time. So I'm with you, Dame. It's season 8. Season 8.
Oh no.